Well. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to the UFC's heavyweight division, which we can now refer to as the duckweight division, because basically we're just playing duck fighting championship when it comes to the heavyweight division inside the UFC. Look, this is becoming atrocious right now. The heavyweight division is just a disaster, and what we're going to take a look at in this video is Jon Jones basically openly ducking Tom Aspinall, and we're going to take a look at some of the delusional comments by some of the fans, really just the little Jon Jones, I don't even know what you want to call him, right? They just live in denial when it comes to Jon. He can do no wrong, so they're going to defend him at all costs, which we're going to take a look at that, because he's blatantly ducking Tom Aspinall, and he's trying to sway the fan base and kind of steer your attention away from what actually matters, and he's trying to build up this narrative with Alex Pereira that I see what he's saying, but he's not saying it just because of, I really want to fight Alex Pereira. This is all about ducking Tom Aspinall at this point, because we're going to get into it. But also, I do want to point out, shots fired, Seal gone. Come on, Duck. Let's go, man. We got to get you back in there. I don't know what the deal is with Seal gone. They got to get that figured out, because I would love to see him versus Tom Aspinall at UFC 304. But nonetheless, let's hop right into this. First, we got a major headline here, right? Jon Jones favors Alex Pereira heavyweight clash over Tom Aspinall. Tom only matters in the UK. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not a biased guy when it comes to the heavyweight division. I don't have anyone in the heavyweight division that I'm like, I'm really a fan of them. Like, I am just kind of neutral. I'm not really a fan of anybody inside the UFC heavyweight division. None of them kind of give me that, factor that makes me drawn to them. This is not true. Tom Aspinall is absolutely a draw inside the heavyweight division globally, not just the UK, anywhere. Jon Jones, what planet are you living in? I know you went out there and you dominated Seal Gone, which was very impressive, by the way. But let's not act like that was not a stylistic perfect matchup for your return, Jon. You going up to heavyweight, Gone was the perfect matchup for you. Let's not act like Seal Gone was some sort of puzzle for you to solve. It was very simple. If you were able to get Seal down, we knew that you were probably going to be able to finish the fight there, land some nasty ground and pound, submit him. I didn't think that you would do it as easily as you did, but shout out to you, Jon Jones. You went in there and handled business. But to sit up there and say that Tom only matters in the UK, buddy, it's wrong, okay? You had an injury, right? You can't help that. You had an injury. You and Stipe were pulled off the card for UFC 295, so Tom Aspinall and Sergey Pavlovich step in on a rather short notice to take each other on for an interim heavyweight title. Tom goes out there, finishes Sergey Pavlovich, who, by the way, was honestly, he might have been the most feared heavyweight, other than because Ngannou had left. You came up and fought Gane. When we're talking about true scary power and just overall ferociousness, I think Sergey Pavlovich was kind of that guy. He was tearing through people. The way he obliterated Tai Tuivasa, and just the list goes on in his run since he's been in the UFC. Nobody was signing up and excited to fight Sergey Pavlovich except for one man, and that was Tom Aspinall. He stepped in on short notice to take on Sergey, went in there, finished him. It was very impressive. And Tom really, he's been on YouTube collaborating with these strong men, these, bodybuilders, whatever the hell they are. And he's been getting some great notoriety on social media, that little face-off he was trying to do with you. To say that Tom only matters in the UK is just not true. But we're going to go down here and kind of take a look at the article. Then we're going to hop over to Jon's X account to make sure we're getting the full context of what the fans are saying and that kind of stuff. But Jon Jones weighing in on his heavyweight options. Bones added another belt to his collection March 2023 when he made quick work of Seal Gane at 285. Since then, Jones has been waiting to schedule a fight with heavyweight great Stipe Miocic, but the division has plenty of movement and rumblings that have, I don't even know what the hell that word is, his interest peaked, I guess. I thought peaked was spelled differently there. But anyway, the point, who the hell wants to see Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic? Please comment below if you're one of those fans, because I don't care about that fight. Stipe Miocic, guys, I like Stipe. It's hard to dislike Stipe. He seems like a great guy. This man has not fought since the Venom fight kits have been, inside the UFC. He has not fought in the new Venom fight kits. It has been that far, that it has been that long since Stipe has competed inside the UFC. And this man lost to Francis Ngannou, which I believe was back in 2021. Okay, no harm, no foul. You lose to Francis. But we haven't seen him since, and he's going to walk back into a title shot against Jon Jones when we have Tom Aspinall, who's the interim heavyweight champion. Anytime we get an interim champ, the interim belt, let's be honest with what that is. It's basically a ticket that gets people to tune in because it's like, oh, there's a belt on the line. But also, when you win that belt, you're now punching your ticket to what your next fight should be, which is a guaranteed title shot. That's always how that has been, right? Whenever there's an interim championship on the line and a guy wins it, that basically is them punching their ticket like, okay, no more messing around. I got the interim belt. I'm fighting for the strap next. Like, that is your ticket that you punch. So to sit there and say that Tom Aspinall is not next Jon Jones, like, that's crazy. It's crazy. Stipe Miocic, I understand that he has a great legacy inside the heavyweight division. But if you go in there and beat Stipe, does anybody actually care? No. You go in there, you beat Tom Aspinall? Wow. Now people are really caring. Now that conversation, those conversations that are being had about you, Jon, I know Jon doesn't care either way because he's done some incredible things inside the octagon, but still, you would silence all of that, my guy. So, but let's hear. So, interim heavyweight champion Aspinall has frequently called for a unification bout, and light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira has made overtures to move up and become the UFC's first 3-division title holder. Okay, fair enough. Like, I get it, but I get the Alex Pereira thing, right? Alex has recently said, like, look, I'm not moving up to heavyweight right now. Let him defend the light heavyweight title. I like Alex. You know, he's one of my favorite fighters. He still has business to attend to at light heavyweight. I don't like these guys just defending a title one time and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm going to go up and go for double champ and this and that. Like, as crazy as it would be and as great of a fight as it would be, I'm not saying it's not a great fight and I want to see it at some point. Right now, Jon Jones has business to handle and Alex Pereira has business to handle within their own divisions. For Alex, he's got the Yuri Prochazka rematch. He's got Magomed Ankalaev, who seems to be his kryptonite, possibly the worst matchup. Like, you go in there and do that. Jon Jones goes in there and beats Aspinall. We're looking at even a bigger fight than what we're talking about right now. But then Jones addressed both in a series of messages on social media, first asking, who would you guys want to see me fight the most, Alex or Tom? I mean, Jon, what are we doing here? Okay, so we're going to go over to Jon Jones's ex here, okay? And we're going to take a look. So let's read this whole thing. If Alex P became champion of the heavyweight division, would you guys consider him the GOAT? Being back in the gym has got me thinking differently. That fight after Stipe may be the next biggest move I could possibly make. This killer has already defeated so many champions and is already considered a legend to millions around the world. The most massive fight the UFC could make. Give Alex a chance to avenge all those great Brazilian champions I've defeated. Duck. Duck, 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 duck. No goose, all duck. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable to me. Guys, this is fluff. If you are a Jon Jones ride or die, just put your bias aside. This is the ultimate duck. How can you sit there and say that, oh, after I beat Stipe, I'm going to go fight Alex? Why is Jon acting like there's not an interim champion in his division right now who's running through everybody, who everyone wants to see you fight? Why are you not addressing that? I don't understand. And look at down here below. I mean, shout out to these guys, man. Look, Tom Aspinall, don't care, fight Tom. Oh, man. You know what I mean? You're doing everything humanly possible now to duck Tom. Bro, there's an interim champion. That's the only person you should be fighting. That's kind of the point of an interim champion. Please fight Tom. There's an interim champion. He has a name. Pereira would be the easiest fight of your career. I consider you the GOAT, but the next fight after Stipe has to be Tom for me. The biggest fight of all time, real talk. Like, come on. The biggest fight of all time. Like, yeah, but we got people to fight, man. We got Tom Aspinall to fight and refuses to fight Tom but want to fight Pereira because his lack of ground game. You're a funny guy. Boom. Andre Easy, shout out to you. You hit the nail on the head. As good of Alex Pereira is, his ground game has improved. His takedown defense, and when he gets taken down, he stays relatively safe. Guys, let's be honest. As big of a fan of Alex as I am, if Jon Jones takes him down, Alex is in a world of trouble. The most danger he would ever be in inside of his entire combat sports career would be if Jon Jones is able to take him down. The ground and pound that Jon has with the elbows and let alone the submission threat that Jon has, that would be a serious nightmare for Alex Pereira. Now, a great, I don't want to say tune-up, but a great assessment to see what we would be dealing with would be, how does Alex match up with Magomed Ankalaev, right? So I'm not saying that Alex can't get it done and all those different things, but if we're looking at a bad matchup for Alex, it's Jon Jones. Jon knows that. Jon absolutely knows that. So shout out to the fans for getting on him for that one. But we're going to get into the delusional fans here in just a minute, like right here. I mean, it would be absolutely massive. A guy with a chance to be a 3-division champion and a GOAT versus the actual GOAT. Same age, different strengths. No one can argue that that would be the biggest fight in MMA history. There's absolutely no fight that generates a payday like that. Marketing would be insane. And then we got this little Bones, like, I mean, I don't even know what to call Jon Jones' little hardcore fans. Bones speaking facts. I've been saying this all along. You Jon Jones meat riders have to stop. You have to stop. Guys, the UFC, I understand Alex Pereira is a gigantic matchup. I want to see that fight at some point. There is business to attend to for both of these guys, especially Jon Jones. Guys, it is not normal to duck the interim champion. It's not normal. When Kamaru Usman was champion and Colby Covington was the interim champ, he goes in there and beats RDA, like, that's who you're fighting next. Like, we've seen this so many times when a guy wins an interim belt. Like, that is who you are fighting. That's who you're fighting next. It's who you're fighting next. Stop the ducking. You know? Okay? So then here we go. Let's go up here a little bit more. Now this is where, he's going to start replying to the fans because they're getting on him a little bit here. You actually think me fighting Tom would be more massive than Alex and I colliding? Tom only matters in the UK. Newsflash. Pereira is one of the most polarizing figures the sport has ever seen. Tom's a contender who won a belt against another contender. We had to save Madison Square Garden's main event. I'm thinking dollar signs, legacy, big picture here, not what UK fans are dying to see. Literally just went through this with the French fans. Jon Jones is ducking the hell out of Tom Aspinall. There's no other way around it. You're thinking legacy. You're thinking all these things. Jon, the only fight for you right now is Tom Aspinall. And don't compare this to the French. Only the UK fans want to see Tom Aspinall. All of the entire MMA fan base wants to see you fight Tom Aspinall next. That is the fight to make. You don't just duck the interim champ, man. Especially when you had to pull out of a fight. Aspinall, these guys, they step in, they fight for the interim strap and win it. And I mean, for God's sake, it looks like we're going to be seeing Tom Aspinall defend a heavyweight interim belt at UFC 304, which is just, disgraceful as it is. It's not Aspinall's fault. It's just because, Jon, you're playing these games over here because you and the UFC are so adamant about fighting Stipe Miocic, which who the hell cares about that fight at this point? But you went through this with the French fans? Okay, but you fought Seal Gane. And why did you fight Seal? Because he doesn't have a ground game compared to you. That's exactly why. If Tom Aspinall was only a boxer and had no takedown defense and had a very lacking ground game, Jon Jones would be stepping right up to the plate to take on Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is the biggest threat we have seen Jon Jones, basically the biggest threat posing to Jon Jones to this point in his career. Tom Aspinall is fast. He has very, very good boxing. He's got sensational power in his hands. He moves incredibly well. He's got good leg kicks. He has good takedown defense, and he has some good submissions of his own. Now, that's not to say Jon Jones can't go in there and beat Tom Aspinall, because I think it's a great stylistic matchup. Like, listen, guys, we can rip on Jon Jones all we want about this. This is still a great stylistic fight. Like, Jon definitely, I'm thinking that right now I'm kind of like, this is close here in my opinion. I think this is a great neck and neck type of matchup. But just, the fan getting on him here. You're doing everything humanly possible to duck Tom. Like, he absolutely is. You cannot sit there in your right mind and say that Jon Jones is not ducking Tom Aspinall. And then here, we just see, this stuff. Aspinall won his share of his heavyweight crown with a 69-second knockout of Sergey Pavlovich this past November. The British star has frequently mentioned his desire to face Jones in a unification bout, but has also said he is open to defending his interim belt against another opponent, with Jones insisting that he prefers to fight Miocic. It's like, this is disgraceful. It's disgraceful. Not Tom Aspinall's fault. Jon Jones' fault. And the UFC for allowing this. Pereira is yet to compete at heavyweight, but the former kickboxing standout has already made history in his brief MMA career, blah, 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 blah. We know about this, okay? And it's not to say that I'm not disagreeing with Jon Jones saying that this is a massive fight to take on Alex Pereira at some point. And I know that the way the UFC works, like they don't want to fumble a possible opportunity because Alex could go out there and lose to Magomed or whatever, and it kind of ruins those plans. So I get that side of things. But if there wasn't a super viable, like top contender that everyone wants to see you fight in the heavyweight division that happens to be the interim champ at this point, you have to fight Tom Aspinall. The UFC needs to force Jon Jones to fight Tom Aspinall, just like they need to force Colby Covington's ass to fight Ian Gary at International Fight Week. But, I mean, like here we see, this is just basically the stuff that we've already seen and we were already kind of going over in this video, guys. But nonetheless, I want to hear from you all down in the comments. Right? I mean, this just down here, this is what really infuriates me, is Jon's trying to spin this narrative to get the fans to be like, yeah, fight Alex, because we know Jon has a heavy advantage in terms of the grappling, where Aspinall is a very well-rounded guy, and he's trying to sell this to the fans. He's trying to get the fans to be like, yeah, because there's no doubt about it. Alex, if he could go out there and win a heavyweight strap and beat Jon Jones and all those things, like we're looking at crazy status for Poatan. But there is an interim champ in the heavyweight division that should be fighting Jon Jones next. His name is Tom Aspinall. I want to hear from you all down in the comments. Like this video. Comment your thoughts down below. And if you made it to the end of this video, comment Duck Duck Jones or Duck Duck Gone. And give me your thoughts down below. Subscribe to the channel. Help your boy out. I appreciate you all. See you next time.